What a lovely surprise. Welcome. Orschis, why don't you go downstairs and get the shopkeeper to make us a fresh pot of tea? I heard that you've been traveling all over the place recently. I would very much like... Orschis told you, didn't she? Don't worry, I'm quite all right. It's just the years gradually catching up with me. As I grow older, I'm starting to find that with many things, though the mind is willing, the flesh is weak. Especially recently, I've noticed a rather drastic drop in my energy levels. I am still very much in good standing as the Thankyou today. Nevertheless, I wish to pass on the position before my mental acuity begins to decline beyond redemption.
How difficult is it to transfer the Thankyou position?
Oh, well, you see, the Thankyou is a rather unique position among the Liyue Qixing. Historically speaking, the Thankyou rarely appears in public. We stay behind the scenes, planning and giving advice, so a public selection process would not be suitable. We also want to keep any prospective Thankyou candidates free from influence by outside forces, so we tend to be as discreet as possible in their assessment and appointment. For these reasons, the incumbent Thankyou typically recommends their candidate of choice, and this is then approved by the other Qixing members.
So in other words, you pick someone, and then Lady Keqing, Lady Ningguang, and the other Qixing appoint them?
Correct. Unfortunately, due to my health, I won't be able... Not to despair, however, because I found someone exceptionally capable to act on my behalf as a...
Oh? Who is it?
I'm heartbroken. I thought it might take you a little longer than this to forget all about me.
It's Yuan!
Jackpot. Uncle Tian here asked me to assess 3 candidates for him. Fancy joining me? You'll be among the first to get to know the next Thankyou. Might be a good opportunity for you.
What do you think? Makes sense. After all, whoever the next Thankyou is, it doesn't really make any difference. Still, Paimon's really curious to see...
Alright then. Though, I gotta say, Uncle Tian, you say you're into behind-the-scenes planning?
Huh? Yelan, you want to be the next Thankyou?
I'm not opposed to the idea, but so how about this? If you're
Deal. Well, you guys take your time. Meet me on the first floor when you're ready. Until... Oh, and no need to pay for your tea. As the new owner of this fine establishment, this runs on the house. You're all set?
Uncle Tian seems really worn down. It's like all his energy's gone.
Yeah, it may sound harsh, but Uncle Tian is past his prime. So he's recommended 3 candidates. Their names are Qinwei, Mingbo, and Zhi. Qinwei is a wealthy entrepreneur. Mingbo works at the Liyue Ministry of Civil Affairs, and Zhi is focused on study and travel. Try to keep all that in mind. Of course, it doesn't really matter if you forget.
Qianwei, Mingbo, Zhi. Paimon's...
Let's leave that until we get to you. Alright. Heads in the game, people. The stakes don't get much higher than a change in...
Got it. We'll keep our eyes whoop.
My legs are getting sore. What is wrong with this assessment officer? This is a huge occasion and I've dealt with all kinds of people in my time, but never have I...
Oh,
That's called being complacent.
Oh, come on. That's just...
All right, you two. Let's not get into a bit. Qianwei, that was a bit uncalled for. And Mingbo, cut him some slack. We've all been standing... Look, how about this? There's no rule saying we're a
Fine. They're not the best quality chairs, to be sure. But under the circumstances, it would be better than nothing.
It looks like all 3 candidates have arrived. We'll meet them formally soon. Before that, let me run you through the assessment process. I've split it into 2 stages: current affairs and planning, and face-to-face interview. In the first stage, candidates are required to submit a manifesto for Liyue's development. In the writing a manifesto takes time, so I informed them of this requirement in advance. These are the reports they submitted.
Wow, one of them is really...
It's also worth mentioning a stipulation I gave them. Whoever is appointed, failing the occurrence of some cataclysmic event, they will not be permitted to There's still some time. Have a skim through, get a first impression of what each person's proposed. I'll be waiting off to the side. Just let me know when you're done. Finished, huh?
Everyone took it very...
Of course they did. They have the chance to be picked as the new Tianshu, so you can bet they're putting... And keep in mind, whoever gets in has to execute their plan. That's for me to know and you to find out. We can talk. We'll see the candidates now. Let's do one at a time.
Yes, ma'am.
Oh? So you two are the assessment I had assumed that given the great import of this situation, Lady Ningguang would perhaps be assessing us in person. I trust you've read through my manifesto? I'd be more than happy to clarify any details you found.
Mind your tone, mister!
Relax. It wasn't intended as a personal slight against anyone in particular. I was simply stating a fact. Cloud Retainer. You know this Adeptus? Oh, yes, I remember now. With your sterling reputation, you must have a respectable level of erudition. Perhaps you will be able to understand the concepts I have put.
Oh, is it my turn?
Yes.
I'm, Mingbo. I've worked there for, 9 years, 5 months. I have 12 active cases at the moment. They should be my current work is related to urban planning and...
Is it just Paimon?
You know what? Let's leave the self-introduction there and move on to some...
Oh, okay.
Hello. Not gonna lie, I'm feeling a little nervous. What would you like to know? You're here to assess me, so ask...
Your manifesto is very wide in its scope, but you don't seem to be personally involved in many of the specific fields. How can you be sure that you have the...
Very fair question. I completely understand, but I'm confident in my plan. I've visited many different places, talked to lots of people with... Of course, 2 different problems can be interconnected in very complicated ways.
How do you plan to determine whether you are...
A great question. Well, I'd start by having... If it turned out that my judgment was to blame for poor results...
Nice answer.
He seems like a great guy. Everything he said was thought...
Here's my take on what we just learned. As you saw, Qianwei is highly knowledgeable. He proposes many excellent ideas in his manifesto, but he is very proud and incredibly stubborn. He doesn't care much about other people's feelings. Mingguo's plan is more thorough and more measured. You can tell he's meticulous, but he and Shenwei are otherwise polar opposites. Mingguo is not very articulate and comes across as very timid in conversation.
Perfect summary! Paimon couldn't agree.
Last but not least, Zhi. His manifesto is full of pertinent details, his methodology is sound, and his proposals cover a broad... The depth he goes into in each and every area means it can only be a product of painstaking work. Plus, but, what really interests me is that many of his views happen to coincide with Uncle Tien's.
Great!
We'll see. Let's go back. All right, then let me ask this. The ideas in Zhi's manifesto are very similar.
Oh, I didn't want to say anything when I gave you the list of candidates. Those 3 candidates have all studied under me in the past. It's only natural that they But Shenwei went on to focus on his business, and Mingguo...
Whoa! So how did you get to know them?
Shenwei was referred to me by an old friend. Mingguo came to my attention in the court. We first met while fishing. Gradually, Zhi came from a poor family, and his parents died. He reminded me of a younger version of myself. So, I started out giving him a few words of advice when we were out fishing and noticed how quite. And now, all of a sudden, the young are growing up, and
I don't know, Uncle Tien. You still seem in pretty good shape to me.
Oh, you. There's really no need to console me.
Sounds like you sure love fish.
Ooh, there's nothing quite like fishing to pass the time. Ooh, and freshly caught fish, they make the most...
Fresh fish soup.
Doesn't it? Also, some time ago, Zhi purchased a very special... When we've been fishing recently, Zhi always brings some extra ingredients he prepared in advance. The addition of these makes the soup taste even more. That flavor makes for a fond memory. But it might...
Oh, can Paimon come next time too? Paimon really...
Let's get back to the matter at hand. Uncle Tien.
Had you not asked me why Zhi's ideas were so similar to mine, I was not going... This decision must be guided by what is fair and right. Remember, you...
Understood. Come on, let's go talk somewhere.
Bye-bye, Uncle Tien. So, it's gonna be... His manifesto was written well, and...
Easy. Let's not rush. There's no time limit for this assessment.
Huh? So, are you
No, nothing like that. The assessment itself is complete. But let me give you a word of advice. Things are not always as they appear. The biggest no-no in intelligence work is to only get information from the person of interest themselves. The truth is almost always hidden. For example...
Yes?
Lady Yelan, what are your orders?
Ugh! Who are they? Where did they come from?
Did they scare you? These two are Wenyuan and Shanghua. They work for me. As my trusted assistants, they are always standing guard nearby. They also perform various assignments as required. Shanghua is a business expert who gets his information by trading. Wenyuan...
That meathead must have been out there on sea surveillance for some time now. Is he all right?
Nothing can take that guy down.
Shanghua, visit all the commerce guilds and look into...
Yes, ma'am.
So what about Juri.
Jur-E. Well, obviously, as the most... Let's go to the docks first. Lots of people pass...
If we're looking for information, why don't we try Hito's business at the North Wharf? Maybe...
Huh.
Huh? What's Bulai doing here today?
Look, your asking price for this batch is just...
Come on, hear me out. I'm telling you, I accidentally dropped one into a well.
Even so...
All right. I'll let you in on a little secret. The boss of Second Life also wants to buy from me, but I haven't responded yet. If you won't take him, I'll just have to partner with them instead.
Okay, well... Oh, what are you doing here? And to be clear, these Sunsettias are mine. I got to them first. Don't get...
Actually, we wanted to ask you about a guy called Juri.
Juri? Yes, he's quite well known. I've heard a story about him. They say he was born into poverty. His parents died when one of his neighbors was terribly rude to him all the time. But Juri, he returned cruelty with kindness. Injustice with peace offerings. A gentleman of talent and character.
He sounds like a decent man. We can finally break...
Why are you asking about him anyway? You aren't looking for a... Well then, in that case, the higher bidder takes the...
Where?
It's him, all right. Looks like he's chatting with Linlong. Come on, try not to let him see you.
I'll just go and fetch an employment contract. And hey, don't try and cut me out of this. Hey!
I understand. Let's walk and talk. So, you were looking to buy a wineware set? Oh, now I can see that you're a connoisseur, so I won't bother trying to con you. I trust you understand our shop quite well?
The truth is, an old friend of mine, who likes to have a drink now and then, he fancies himself as a man of culture, but doesn't care for needless extravagance. So I thought I might buy him a set of high-quality fakes.
How very thoughtful of you. Leave it to me, then. Come and collect it at Shigu Antiques whenever is convenient.
Thank you very much, Miss Linlong.
It's my pleasure, Mr. Juri. These days, it's quite rare for someone of your standing to still keep up with their old friends. It's nice to see. I'll be sure to pick out a good set for you. You can count on me. Juri seems to get along really well with everyone. Are you satisfied now?
We shouldn't jump to conclusions just yet.
Do we have to? Wait, you're not just trying to dig up some dirt on Juri because...
Maybe I am. Maybe I'm not. But hey, if I do become... You'll be able to try all the finest food for free. How does that sound?
We will? Well, come...
The wharf is as busy as ever. I hear the anglers here sometimes sell their fish to the nearby...
Welcome. What would you like to buy today?
Sorry to interrupt. We're actually members of the, Liuwei. We've heard about this young man called Zhi, who's supposed to be a fantastic fisherman. Just...
Whoa! Yeon made up a whole fake identity. What?
Ah, yes, Zhi. He's been making quite a name for himself recently. I've got some friends who travel all... Apparently, he had a rather tough time growing up. Had to work several jobs along... How does that saying go? What doesn't kill you makes you strong.
Yeah, we think...
But I'm afraid your Anglers Association might be in for a disappointment.
Oh? Why's that?
He's good at a lot of things, but fishing isn't one of them. He fishes at the wharf and sells what he catches to me on occasion. His catches are always mediocre. Not terrible, but equally nothing to write home about.
That sounds fantastic. I've got a couple of other things to attend to right now, though, so...
Sure thing. See you.
Everywhere they go, they meet someone who's heard of him. Come on, let's keep asking around.
Here to buy some fish? You better hurry. When they're
Hello, we're from the Society...
Wow, she's...
Society for Fish Price Research? I haven't done anything illegal. Stay out of my...
Please, don't worry. We've heard about a certain Zhi who's been selling fresh fish at low prices.
So this isn't about me. You should have said something, you know. I haven't heard anything about him selling fresh fish at low prices, but it wouldn't surprise me if it was.
Oh? Why is that?
Because he's so poor. His parents died when he was very young, and his alcoholic father still owed a huge amount of debt. He was still a kid when he first came to the wharf. He managed to survive, thanks to Uncle Tien, who gave... I mean, he can afford to eat and everything, but it's not like he catches...
You'd rather he didn't know?
Well, I spoke to him once, briefly, and I just had a feeling that he really can't. I think he has pretty low self-esteem, but hey, it's hardly... nobody's perfect.
I see. Well...
Not a problem, and...
The more times you say it, the less convincing it becomes.
Doesn't have a lot of mora to his name.
Hey, it's you guys! Wait, what's the phrase? Oh yeah, what brings you...
The truth is, we are but newcomers to this territory. We heard tell of a great...
Really?
But of course.
Great! So what...
Now she's lying to a kid.
So, Master...
Sure have! You mean that guy that all the grown-ups... I've heard many tales of... Probably because it's nothing that important. I prefer...
Oh, I can completely understand that. Then, let me ask you...
Oh yeah, I know that! Before that, people always used to talk about Zhi in a kind of nasty tone of voice. But sometimes he gives me candies. So I'm glad that people are starting...
Just as I thought.
Huh? What?
I mean... Just as I thought, Master Dugu...
I'm not that great. Oh yeah, one other thing. These days, there's a lot of people I've never seen before talking about...
Oh, definitely.
Great! So next time I see them, I'll...
Certainly. You can also tell my friend in Yenshang Tea House about what they're up to.
Thank you, man.
You're welcome. Well then, fare thee well, Master Dugu.
Until we meet again.
Any of that sound strange to you?
Strange? Zhi seems to have a great reputation.
True. But the issue is, where did his sudden celebrity come from?
Sudden? Too good to be true?
So he returns cruelty with kindness, and had to work to support his studies. These are the kinds of things that make someone well known in their hometown. But Uncle Soon said, do you remember what Dugu Shuo said about Zhi's stories? Clearly they left him with a good impression of the guy. But beyond that, Plus, there's the fact that all this praise of Zhi has only been happening within the last his childhood, his studies, the thing with his neighbor. None of these are recent events. So why...
When you put it like that...
Of course, if that's all there was to it, Zhi was born into a poor family. Thankyou. The problem is, Do you remember what Uncle Gao said about him? He's right, and that changes everything. It can mean a powerful faction is trying to gain... That's the worst-case scenario. But all too often...
Someone's trying to gain influence over the... Even if we ask Jiri about it, surely...
First, we need to find out who's supporting him. Don't worry, I've got... Remember the current affairs and planning stage of the assessment? Since the successful candidate is... Whoever is secretly helping Jiri must be... Come on. Jiri's manifesto covers a huge range of topics. I'll divide the reports into 2 piles. Officially, the assessment is already over, and I'll be expected to announce the results before long.
Yikes! We better...
Whatever else Uncle Tian might think of Jiri, the fact remains that he's one of his... Any evidence he's left is not going to be immediately obvious.
Even though Yelan... Well... Oh, this reading is giving time.
Looks like I'm the first one back, as usual.
Oh, hey! It's one of Yelan's little helpers, Shanghua! If you're back, that means...
You betcha. I visited all the commerce guilds and gathered a wealth of information. Every time they asked me to leave, but
Don't drag this out. Just tell us your...
Yes, Lady Yelan. To summarize my findings, most people who've had interactions with Qianwei will start out complaining about how proud and arrogant he is, but then go on to give a generally positive appraisal of him. The young master of the Feiyun Commerce Guild said that Qianwei appears arrogant, but he's once he signs a contract with somebody, he treats them fairly regardless of their background.
Who'd have thought?
Is it possible that his reputation is fake? Is there any way you can check the account?
In theory, that should be very difficult. But here's the thing. Where he buys from and sells to should be confidential business information. Qianwei often sees business opportunities that others don't. But once it's like he wants people to know that they still can't beat him, even if he shares all of his secrets. The fact that someone like that can still make more is...
What a strange guy. It's like he's not doing business to make...
To validate his theories. No wonder his manifesto contains so many insights. It's all the...
I'm back! Huh?
Why do you think? Obviously, because I possess superior skills, and am always...
You... Ugh, whatever. I'm not getting into an argument with you. If Lady Yelan, I have finished investigating...
Well,
The Ministry of Civil Affairs says that Minghua struggles to get his words out when he gets nervous, especially when he's chatting with... But after a few days of getting to know him, you can pretty much have a normal conversation with him. On the whole, the feedback from the Ministry of Civil Affairs was very...
In your opinion, was the Ministry of Civil Affairs appraised?
I don't believe so. Mingbo is someone who has slowly but surely earned the reputation he has. According to Miss Yu, the Ministry often gets Mingbo to take a final look at projects. Oh, and also, there was once someone in the Ministry who was lying and cheating to try to advance their career. Mingbo gave them the scolding of a lifetime.
Whoa. That's...
Like I said before, things are not always as they appear.
Ah! So that's what you...
Thank you both. You're free to go now. So, have... I can't see any immediate problem. The only one that strikes me as a little unusual is the Qiangshu pool has always... At some point, a rumor began to go around that there is... A long time ago, with the approval of the Qixing, a mining team conducted an
So, did they find any treasure?
None. The ruin was completely... The technology wasn't mature enough at that time, so the excavation project was shut down and the treasure became... Zhi-Yi's manifesto focuses on Still, this one fact alone doesn't tell us much. Everyone wants to get their hands on...
Excavation, project, treasure? Did we read anything? Oh yeah! Zhi-Yi said the Blackcliff Forge workers should get right of first...
Did he now? Well, that makes everything much clearer. So Zhi-Yi wants the Blackcliff Forge to excavate the treasure of Qiangshu Pool.
Does that mean the Blackcliff Forge is Zhi-Yi's secret?
No, not likely. I've looked into the Blackcliff Forge before. They aren't involved with it. They do possess some specialized explosives, but it would seem more trouble still, since the clues are...
Shenwei and Mingbo both turned out to be completely different than what we thought. What about Zhi-Yi? Is there another side to him too?
This is the Blackcliff Forge. Let's look around for clues.
Excuse me?
Just, stuff that...
Huh?
I don't think we're going to get anywhere asking...
What's this?
From the back, it looks like a ledger. But it seems they also use... We don't know who wrote it, but it's interesting, don't you think?
You think they're suspicious?
Yes. Look, it says right there, one of them's already... At this rate, by the time the Qiangshu Pool redevelopment plan is ready to roll, they'll be the technical... That'll give them the chance to take a lot of liberties. They can copy any secret texts or steal any treasure they find underground. Imagine if we didn't suspect anything. By the time Zhi-Yi recommends the Blackcliff Forge for the excavation project, no red flags if all they did was change some key staff. And even if we decided to vet the staff in, that's the advantage of planning this far in advance.
When you put it like that, it all makes sense. If we hadn't found this out, so who's really behind?
That's a question for the newcomers. But let's start with that.
Excuse that.
I gotta say, these newcomers are in tip-top shape. Fast look. My only complaint is that I guess they just need...
They go out drinking. This area isn't exactly renowned for the nightlife.
You got that right. They tell me they go all the way back to Liyue Harbor. It rained after work today, so they actually stuck around at the site for a while. Hey, you're only young once, right? I say, if they can hack it.
Interesting. Let's go talk some... Looks like our hunch was on the Mora, drinking in Liyue Harbor, huh? Some cover story. I'll wager they've been going to intelligence updates. Good thing it rained today. It means they'll leave footprints.
They went that way! Hurry, we gotta catch up! These footprints are heading towards Liyue Harbor. Maybe we were wrong about them.
Just as I thought. They didn't go to Liyue Harbor. They went that way. The footprints stop here, but judging from the direction, I'm guessing their destination... Looks like we were too late. This has gotta be where the newcomers rendezvous with whoever they're working for. Look at these ashes. Someone was burning documents not long before—
Could there be anything left? Maybe the wind could have...
The odds of that are very slim. It's
Why don't we wait for them back at the Black Cliff Forge? They've gotta go back—
We can't count on that. Clearly they were based here at one point, but it's mysteriously abandoned. To me, that says that whoever's behind this has moved them somewhere else.
Darn! Guess this is—
Make no mistake, the purpose of our trip wasn't to find any solid evidence. We just need— I smelled something peculiar the moment I came in. Those newcomers probably thought they'd be safe as long as they burned the letters. But what they failed to consider is that paper and ink from different regions produce different odors when they're—
Really? Pilot can't smell anything.
There is a certain place with a freezing cold climate where there's nothing but ice. Some wealthy people there put floral fragrance in their ink as a way of injecting a little romance into— When that fragrant ink is burned, this is the exact odor that it leaves behind. Exactly. The evidence will soon be blown away by the wind, so it's nothing we can arrest anyone, but it's all I need. Now I know who we're dealing with. I can plan our next move.
Lady Yelan! Oh, thank goodness I finally found you. I thought I'd never see you again.
Don't be alarmed. This is Upei. I sent him to look into Jur-E's regular contacts. Since Jur-E likes fishing, Upei thought he might know some of the fishermen. I left him a note at Yanshang Tea House. So, what did you find out at sea?
Forgive my incompetence. I'm afraid I've come up empty-handed. I asked all the fishermen multiple times, but none of them had any interactions with Jur-E before. Then the waves got so choppy I ended up falling overboard. When I got back, I heard that you'd gone to Black Cliff Forge and might need backup, so I went straight there as fast as I could.
Well, Uncle Tien said that Jur-E once bought a recipe from one of the fishermen.
What? No, that's not possible. It's absolutely not possible. Lady Yelan, I'm telling you, I spoke to every—
Interesting. Then I wonder how that even more wonderful fish—
Fish soup? What fish soup?
Nothing. Our priority right now is to find— Well, any suggestions? Not a bad idea. Upei, what do you think?
Honestly, I've already tried following Jur-E, but the guy's too cautious. Never meets with anyone suspicious.
Okay, so tailing's out.
No, we'll still need to tail him. But first—
Groundwork?
When you've worked in intelligence for a long time, you'll understand that no one can stay on high alert forever. Especially when he thinks he's about to win. Tomorrow morning I'll announce his victory at Yue. Be sure to arrive on time. It looks like we're all here. I won't drone on about the importance of the Tian.
All of us here know the score. Don't beat around the bush, just get on with it.
Qianwei has many pioneering ideas. Mingguo is reliable, but not quite ambitious enough. In contrast, Zhi is evenly balanced across the board and enjoys after much consideration. I've...
What?
Thank you. Honestly, I'm a little surprised to hear my name being... In my estimation, all three of us are worthy candidates for the team. Would either of you entertain the possibility of working with me in the future? And taking on...
I'll have to see. I'm in a bad mood.
I don't mind, as long as I can help.
Okay, well, that's all from me. Zhi, you'll have some preparation to do. It won't be long before you're...
I will live up to the Tianshu name. On this, you have... I should go. I need to pack my things, and then I think a celebratory meal is in order.
Count me out. I'm not in the mood for...
Zhi seems pretty relaxed now. This would be a good time to...
Hey, Traveler, tell me something. What exactly does that guy have that, if you can't answer that, I'm not accepting this result?
Also...
Oh no, if we get stuck here, we won't be able to...
Follow him.
Yes, ma'am.
We finally got rid of them!
Lady Yelan, Zhi has gone towards Feiyun Slope.
Follow him, quickly.
So Zhi really sided with the Fatui? But Uncle Tian thinks so highly of him. Why would he do this?
Difficult to say, but everything should become a lot clearer when we find him.
Sorry, Lady Yelan. He's too good at this. We weren't able to keep following him without...
How the heck did he manage to shake Yelan? I guess Zhi didn't let us go.
No, Upe says he's much more relaxed than usual. Maybe it's just how he's wired. Perceptive enough to sense when he's...
What?
Don't blame yourselves. Let's not forget he was trained by Uncle Tian himself. Evading detection is not an unusual skill for him to have. If I'd asked you to tail Uncle Tian, you'd have ended up at a dead end too. It's fine. So...
Xinyue Kiosk. He only went in briefly. A few moments later, a man dressed in a completely different outfit came out. I figured that if we spooked him, it would undo what we've accomplished today so far. Another option would have... So I stopped Upe, and I stayed here to wait for you while that meathead went to ask around in Xinyue Kiosk.
Good work. The fish didn't take the bait, but that's okay. As long as he's still swimming around, we'll find a way to catch him eventually. Let's go to Xinyue Kiosk.
Could you explain to me how that works? A guy like him comes in, changes his whole outfit right under your nose, and you don't even ask him about it?
Our customers are free to dress however they please. What grounds would I...
Okay, fair enough, but...
Well, maybe I did, but it still doesn't give me the right to stop it.
Enough. Let's tone this down a little. I'll make this quick. Just one question. What did he buy while he...
Oh, he didn't buy anything. He just picked up a bottle of liquor that he ordered it.
A bottle of liquor?
Yes, a very strong kind. Fiery, with a rich flavor. This gentleman ordered it in person from us a long time ago. He would...
Liquor and wineware.
Where to?
Shigu Antiques. Hey, Miss Linlong. So we're friends of his.
Sure. Which model are...
We don't really know a whole lot about wineware. Let's just go with Zhi's choice.
Zhi picked up his set not long. Just so you're aware, we don't have many of this model left in stock. And now that Mr...
Don't worry. Price...
For this set, the wine glasses are sold separately.
Okay. Thanks, Linlong.
Well, don't take too long. We could sell...
This is turning into a real...
I just like to point out...
It's not like...
My specialty is in for...
Yelan. Oh,
If so,
what do you mean?
first of all, Jur-E isn't much of a drinker. If he was just looking to celebrate by himself, he wouldn't spend his meager savings on it now. This is a victory feast. Held in honor of Jur-E's whoever this person is clearly enjoys hard liquor and has a Now where might we find Fatui who match that description, I wonder?
Fatui officials. Should be either the Snezhnaya...
Have both locations surrounded. Take as many...
Lady Yelan, is it time for us to make our move?
Get with the program, would you? This is a covert surveillance, in which case, we don't need to change tactics. Just change...
Great idea! So we just...
But Lady Yelan...
I'm well aware. But don't you see? Stick to your orders.
Yes, ma'am.
Don't worry, Lady Yelan.
I'll be waiting for you at the... If I'm guessing correctly, Fatui... Perfect timing. Wenyuan just sent word that the
Qingshu Pool?
It looks like that's where Qingshu Pool is always crawling with monsters. Most people wouldn't dream of going...
Oh no.
Let's go. If... This is Qingshu Pool, full of ruins, crawling with monsters. Anyone with any sense steers well clear of this place. I've looked into the place before. There's a worker's entrance somewhere around here. Follow me. There's been some work done on this. The workers left it still.
Don't worry. By the way...
They have other things.
Stabilize!
Teamwork is great! Now you shall perish! Shine down!
Quietly. As I expected, but this shouldn't be too much trouble.
I see that! That's gotta be the Fatui ambassador here to meet Ji. That must be the emergency...
Solidify!
Busted. Quietly now.
I'm going in!
There is no escape. Busted.
The water's gone down.
Yeah.
Stabilize!
Gotcha.
We'll have order! Stabilize!
Here comes the catch. Busted. Quietly now. Take it easy. Take it easy. Take it easy. The water's flowed into the groove, and now the statues have lit up. Okay, now we should be able to move the statues.
It's open. Let's go.
We should be nearly at the bottom now. Let's wrap this up.
Stabilize!
Everybody stand back!
Gotcha!
Torn to oblivion! Illusion shattered!
Take it easy.
I can tell from the aroma that this is very finely. Come on, bottoms up.
Sorry.
You'll get there. If you want... You're more of a lightweight than I thought. Already... I thought you were made of sterner stuff. You certainly kept it together when you were Come on, another round. Less talking, more drinking.
Sure. You didn't leave me much of a choice, though, did you? Just the mention of poisoning sends shivers down my spine. I'm more timid than you realize. Every time I poisoned him, I had to hide away at home for a few...
Look, I know it has not been easy for you, my friend. But, I have to say, you really are quite a genius. I mean, the poison we brought from Snezhnaya is as strong as this wine, but you found a way to turn it into an imperceptible slow act... What was it you said? Oh, yeah. You said the soup's fishy flavor neutralizes the pungency of the...
It struck me one day when I was fishing. I'm lucky it did. Otherwise, I'm not...
You have performed excellently. The Fatui will continue to provide the support you need to consolidate your position as Tian... Aside from Qingshu...
Don't worry. What...
Did you hear that? It was poison! That's why Uncle Tian hasn't been... What a nasty guy! Seize it!
Hold on. Did you bring a camera? If not, you can use mine. This is quite a scene. We have to capture...
Excellent liquor. We've, seen no progress on the diplomatic front, and everyone has been eyeing up the treasure of Qingshu Pool. It's been a real headache for me, but soon, everything will be taken care of. I remember when I first saw you. I knew right away that you would make a good partner for us. Hey, do you still remember what I said to you?
How could I forget? The only way is for you to shine bright in the Tian...
Yes, Just look at your two competitors. Qianwei had wealth. Mingbo had reputation. But you had nothing. And that's why I decided to help you. You know, there's an old saying in the Fatui. Give a starving dog a bone, and it'll guard your home.
Yes. I cannot thank you and...
you know the best thing? Heck, when you're not in the...
Uncle Gao said that Zhi has low self-esteem. He was worried that whatever advantage he might have now will diminish over time. So do you have any more film in the camera? Then get ready to use it. How well this goes for...
Ooh, is there any more alcohol? Go on. Fill me up. I'm in a good mood.
There's only a little left. Here, I'll fill your glass. If you like it, I can...
Whoa, this is the good stuff. Huh? Zhi, you...
You seem surprised, Mr. How could I not? I've sacrificed years of my life studying and reflecting to prepare myself for this position. And in the end, I even had to poison my own teeth. You really think I'd put myself through all that just to become your little puppet?
You imbecile. It's the Fatui who got you to where you are. Do you understand? If I disappear with no explanation...
Do you see the haystack in the corner? Underneath it is a pile of explosives. And next door in the dark room are the 3 undercover agents you sent to infiltrate the Black. I'm gonna stay here till I see you slip into unconsciousness. Then I'm gonna set this on fire. Once the flames burn through the hay, they'll ignite the explosives.
What?
I took the liberty of leaving some evidence of your contact with the undercover agents at the Black Cliff Forge. It won't take long for people to join the dots. 2 missing person cases will become one as the truth. The Fatui planted undercover agents in the Black Cliff Forge to steal their signature ruin grade but things didn't quite go to plan. Mistake faced with the overwhelming evidence. The embassy won't. It explains why you acted alone, while exonerating the rest of the embassy of any. Of course, none of that will have anything to do with me. When all of this comes to my attention, I'm afraid I'll have no choice but to cancel.
Jerry, do you really think you're gonna get away with this? The Fatui has a record of everything. After I die, they'll come looking, and they'll get
a record? Oh, you must mean the one in the hands of your...
What?
How? Because when you contacted me, I also made contact with your associates. I have Theophan to thank for providing me with the poison. He'll help me tie up all the... He has been... Shh. Relax. It's over. After tonight, everyone gets what they... Sweet dreams.
I did a little surveying on the way here and found that you'd left yourself 3 escape routes in case things went south. I have them all surrounded. We were here the whole time and have pictures of everything.
The game's up? Forgive me, I'm not quite sure what you're I happened to discover a Fatui operation here, so I approached them on the pretext of joining forces and eventually brought them down from within. If it pleases you, Miss Yale.
This is how you want to play it, huh? Fine. You do you. All we need to do to convict you is establish that the poison in his system... Nothing else you wanted to add? Let's leave it there.
One wrong move and it all comes crashing down. You followed him here, didn't you? I was so focused on keeping myself out of sight, I forgot he was a potential liability. Let's talk about this, Yelan. I gave you my word that I would live up to the Tianshu.
Your point being...
When I take office, I can guarantee that I will act in your best interests. And I don't deny that I used underhanded methods to get here. But given my lowly origins...
You still don't get it, do you? Even now. What do you think? Exactly. Jur-E. Clever people can always come up with a good... There's nothing wrong with wanting to win other people's... He was like a teacher and a father to you, but you chose to repay that by poisoning him.
That's enough.
Of course. Out of everyone in...
That's enough!
Life is like fishing. It cannot be rushed. Whatever you do, impatience will accomplish nothing. I was just like you once. Desperate to prove myself. Only later did I realize things do not always turn out the way you plan. But you have to keep calm to carry on. You're still young. Be patient, believe in yourself, and don't look outside yourself to prove your value. Where's Jur-E these days? It's been a long time since he last paid me a visit.
Maybe he's just busy.
Well, next time, if he doesn't bring a pot of piping hot fish soup, don't let him in.
Whatever you were thinking about, you'll have plenty of time to mull it over in prison. Oh, I almost forgot. If the Fatui find out what happened today, prison might not turn out to be the safest place for you. Trying to have friends on both sides, it has a way of turning everyone against you. But right now, I have an opportunity for you.
Huh?
Sorry, things are about to get extremely busy for me. Let's meet. I'll have someone remove the explosives. Then.
Need our help with that?
No, it could be dangerous. Don't worry. Just get some rest.
Clear skies can do nothing to hide the brilliance of lightning. Divine...
There is now no poison.
Dr. Baishu.
You needn't worry. It's good we caught it in time. A few...
How did they successfully secure such a seldom-seen poison? Unfortunately for them...
Uncle Tian will be heading off now. Remember...
Don't worry, I will. Thank you very much. Ah, you're here too? Yes, the exhaustion.
Luckily, it looks like choosing the Tianshu's successor is suddenly not such a
Hey, Yelan!
My work is mostly wrapped up, so I thought I'd take a minute to... The assessment process comes to an end here, Uncle Tian. In my opinion, Zhi is not suitable for the...
You have my gratitude. People can change...
Is it just Paimon, or is Uncle Tian...
Don't underestimate Uncle Tian. He wouldn't have appointed me as assessment officer. Normally, the Yue High Pavilion would be responsible.
Yes, to be quite honest, I wanted to trust. When I first met Zhi, I wondered if he had approached me with a hidden agenda. I concluded that he had no ulterior motives whatsoever. In the end, even he changed. I never had any plans to recommend him directly, but I always intended to give him the chance to compete on a level playing field. I had no reputation to speak of when I first became Tianshu. I relied on Ganyu's assistance for all manner of...
I have to admit, the intel suggests that the Fatui saw him as very low risk. He chose that he also installed us. Afterwards, we also found he had an antidote on him. Had the Fatui official grown suspicious, Zhi would have drunk the poisoned wine himself.
But that's still really dangerous.
Yes. Had he drunk the poisonous wine, he still would have faced serious health consequences.
How is Zhi?
Well, I mean, he is sitting in a jail cell. Still, he's cooperating.
A deal? Does this have to do with what you said to him when you arrested him?
Yes, Zhi's not the one I'm interested in. If he was as far as... But once the
Well, did...
Almost.
Uncle Tian? Yelan? What are you talking about?
Zhi colluded with the Fatui to try and secure the position. With Yusupov also, we'd be able... Pawns like this can be major assets. They open up all sorts... What?
So, okay.
We got halfway. But when we tried to make...
the Fatui...
I found out from other sources the Fatui's main forces aren't... It's a pity that Theophan got...
I have to ask, Yelan. Do you have any desire to... I remember you showed some interest a few days ago at...
Oh, that. I was obviously joking. I prefer my current life. There's danger and there's excitement. Although it'd still be a All right.
Where are you off to this time?
As you might have guessed. But I'm sure if you keep going as you are, getting yourselves involved in other people's business all the time, maybe I'll see you the next time danger beckons. Until then, keep your wits about you. A lot of people are... If you have any more questions, just ask Uncle...